show, Call It How I See It. And on today's episode, I got a couple of teams I want to talk to you all about. First and foremost, we finally made the finish line. Yes, the NFL season is finally over, and Wildcard Weekend is about to commence. I got Jan Carlo, I got Glenn Pratt in the house for the new year to drop some football knowledge for y'all. Yes, because Wildcard Weekend is definitely a time to be alive. And we're going to talk about it, so you don't want to miss out. And secondly, we got Kenny Blake back in the house. He's going to drop his picks, so you also take notes and follow and listen to what my boy Kenny's got to say. And thirdly, the return of the solo take. Yes, Joffey, Joe, myself. We're going to talk some college football. Hasn't been talked too much on the show, but since we're concluding that season as well, I definitely want to dive into the Final Four, as we have a game tonight and a game tomorrow, which will determine the national championship. History will be made, and you don't want to miss out and hear what I got to say about it. So you don't want to miss out on this action-packed episode. And we're back. And look who I have in the house. Yes, I got Jan Carlo and Glenn Pratt. How you doing? I'll start with you, G. How you doing, bro?
Man, what, Joffey? It's time to call it how I see it. Feeling good. Let's get it.
Let's get it. How you doing, JC? Welcome back on the show. A new year.
New year, same Eagles in the playoffs. Let's get it. Ready for playoff football.
Me too, man. I've been waiting for this. I think we all have as football fans, as the NFL season has finally concluded. So now we are here. We are. We got Wildcard Weekend, and our teams are both in the fight. So as we start to break down the Wildcard Weekend, I wanted to hear some of Glenn's takes because his Steelers are in the house. They're in the fight. They're in the battle. So
okay. Right.
So I'll let you run the floor, G. All right. I just want to start off though. How do you feel about the Steelers coming into this game against the Ravens?
I thought we had a little something going. I mean, listen, I'm a lifelong Steelers fan. It's always root for them, man. I'm always in their corner. But like the title of the show, I call it how I see it. Yeah. Listen, they're a good team. Just good. They have no shot in this game. Let me tell you something. I understand this any given Sunday. I understand the narrative. There is no way Steelers win this game.
You say no way, bro? No way?
No, listen. No way.
Wow.
Listen, I'm telling you, another time I felt this strong is when the Steelers were like 11-0 one year. And then they went into the playoffs that year to play Kansas City. No shot. They got blown out. And you know what happens this week? Blown out. Wow. No shot. Wow. No shot. I have no confidence. There's no way. Baltimore would have to totally implode. 3 picks by Lamar. We'd have to run a punt return back. Then we have to pick up a fumble. There'd have to be all kinds of that kind of crap for us to win. There is no way we play our game and they play their game. Blowout, bro. Blow out.
Wow, G. I wasn't expecting that, G. I was not expecting that, man.
Yo, we got Mad Dog Glenn up in here. What are we doing?
All it how I see it. Anybody who's been watching them knows they got no shot.
Wow, here's my question. I got questions.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Throw it. I want to hear it.
So, the turnovers can't be forced?
I mean,
no. I mean, can they? I can't rely on that, man.
No, you can't.
No. Can they? Absolutely. TJ can punch a ball out. That's what it'll take. It'll take that kind of game for us to even be in it. Dude, trust me. Blowout, bro. Blowout.
Biggest question for you. Is Zay Flowers playing? If he ain't playing, we have to have a discussion.
No, that's a good point, G. I mean, that's a big part of their offense. He's a Pro Bowl player. I mean, they took the chance putting him out there last week, and now he's got a sprained knee. I mean, that does help. Does sway a little things. I think it can make the game a little bit more interesting for you guys, no doubt.
Yes.
G,
is Lamar playing?
Yeah, he's playing.
We got no shot. Listen, we got no shot. Wilson's our quarterback. I mean, listen, no. I look up and down the line, and I go, no shot. Just believe that. That's all. I respect Zay Flowers, good player, but we got no shot, man.
Okay.
So, Jim, they're you don't think there's no, you're saying no shot. There's no chance. There's
not even competitive.
Not even if Justin Tucker misses a bunch of field goals and it's a close game.
That's what it takes, Joffey. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
His accuracy this year is possible.
The missed kicks. It'll
Chris
take
Boswell
all
game.
that.
You got one more Chris Boswell game in you guys?
No. Now if Lamar's playing, Andrews, Henry, no. Listen, not even competitive. Wow. And when I'm wrong, I will come back and say I was dead wrong. But I'm saying no shot to win this game. No shot. Whether they cover, we can get into all the gambling angles.
All right.
Steelers will not win this game.
All right, Glenn, do they cover at least? Can we cover?
I'm saying no. I'm saying they lose by 20.
Wow.
Oh no, I'm a see.
But if they lose by 20, G, who takes the heat if they lose by 20?
Mike Tomlin.
It's on him already.
It's on Tomlin, yeah, right?
Chirp.
But it's on Russ too. Russ is out the door if they lose by 20.
No, Glenn is on George.
Blow out. Yo, this game is. Listen, I'm nervous. That's how bad it is. I'm nervous. They got no shot.
Dude, this guy is falling.
I agree with Glenn on one point about this. One of the reasons they might lose is George can't pick my nose.
Yeah, I mean, but that's always me and G were talking about that a little bit, like before we started.
That is a man-child over there.
He is, but like, what happened to the man-child? Man-child kind of lost control of himself.
The man-child lost his hands too.
That too. I don't know what that was about, but honestly, like, I think him coming out of the lineup where he was balling, bro. He was helping me out in fantasy. I was like, yeah, George Pickens helping me out. But like, I was like, yeah, dude, like him and Russ, they have a great connection. What's going on here? So I'm like, seeing where things are now, where he's dropping balls, and he's just like, ever since he got taken out of the lineup because of his suspension and like his injury problems, it hasn't, like, the offense has just fell apart, honestly, and it's collapsed, and that's why he lost 4 in a row. And I mean, I can understand where G's at, bro. Like, this guy is kind of falling in Pittsburgh.
I get it, but I get it, but they lose by 12.
I almost wish they didn't make the game. It's gonna be embarrassed. Embarrassed.
Oh no.
They're gonna be hollering. All right.
Oh, listen. Unless, like I said, all what you said, Tucker's missed field goal, punching out some balls, some special teams bullshit. No shot. This team is not good enough. Period. No way they win. No way.
All right. Well, Jay, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not looking forward to it, but hey, it is what it is, man. I'm here to call it how I see.
That's why you're here, man.
I'm looking forward to it. I hope I'm watching it from the couch.
We'll see. We'll see.
Give me a blizzard. I'm ready.
You ready for the blizzard? Easy now. I don't know about the last
one.
No,
not a blizzard.
I was with that. No, I wouldn't
give me 2 inches of snow. I'm just looking for a reason.
There you go. I'm with that. I'll keep it minimal now.
All right, so on another note, now, Jay, I want to break down our game that we have against the Green Bay Packers. As we know, we saw our friend Jordan Love a little nicked up last week. They lost Christian Watson along the way.
Big loss.
It is a big loss. He helped me in fantasy too, so I definitely recognize his game. But coming in, how do you feel about this game coming in? How about that?
I feel pretty good.
Okay.
I think everybody's making a big deal about the Christian Watson injury. What about the bigger injury on the other side of the ball? Jair Alexander's not playing.
Yeah.
Okay, so your number 2 corner is covering A.J. Brown. Stop it. Your slot corner is covering Devontae Smith. Please. And you have to put 7 or 8 in the box for Mr. 2K say. No.
2K say.
I like it. I like the game. I think our pass rush has gotten better. I think Cooper DeJean playing over Avonte Maddox compared to game 1. I like that matchup better.
That's a good matchup, too.
I just think as a unit, the defense has gotten tighter over the season. And, you got Slade on one side, and then the other receiver's going to be stuck on Quinyanamo Bay. I think we win this game.
You know what I was actually surprised about when we played Dallas? That he gave up that touchdown, this first touchdown here to freaking Tolbert. I was a little, I was like, damn.
I was a little upset about it.
I was too, but, like, why, all the receivers, why that guy? But it happened.
No, his first touchdown was to McLaurin.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm so sorry. I forgot.
Yeah, he got cooked. I don't want to brag about it as an Eagles fan, but he got cooked on that route, too.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he's a rookie. It's bound to happen. Experience.
He's a rookie, but playing amongst boys as a rookie.
Just got his jersey. Be rocking it.
Oh, yeah. I got it in Kelly Green.
Oh, nice. That's even better. Yeah, I got it the black one. But, just to show off and, to my home. But, yeah, coming in, I mean, this is where we wanted to be, right? I mean, obviously, we wanted to get to, like, the first seed and have a first round
I would have rather had the week off.
Yeah, I mean, given everything involved here. But, I mean, coming in, like, there's some question marks. Jalen coming off his concussion. We'll see how he comes back in and try to get back into rhythm with the offense and stuff. I mean, for the most part, though, if they just stick to running the ball, it's the bread and butter, and having Jalen make throws here and there, I mean, I don't see why we can't, pull away from this team. I mean, our first game against them was, it was a shootout for most sense of the words. I mean, start off slow. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, he got beat a lot. But, I mean, even Fangio, clamping down, having the defense where it is now, the number 1 defense, the first time since 1991. But I got to give big kudos to my guy, Vic. He definitely solidified the defense. Even last week, dude, like, the backups, they were playing great against the Giants. I'm like, this defense is really where it needs to be. It seems like they're in sync. But coming in, I mean, like, Jordan Love being a question mark, the receivers and everything. Like, we know, like, Matt LaFleur is going to spread out the whole offense for them to, try to showcase Jordan Love making throws. But, I mean, if we're covering all those zones and everything, I mean, I don't see why we can't, win by 2 touchdowns, maybe a touchdown. I can see it being a little close, but I can see us pulling away too. So I think what we do really well this year, at least what we've done down the stretch when we were on the 10-game winning streak, we definitely leaned on teams. We had the time of possession, tiring out teams in the second half. That was huge, honestly. And like if we can impose our will on the Packers, I definitely could, see us winning this game soundly. But we'll see. A lot of things in question. And I just want to throw a hypothetical out there. If we were to lose this game at home, JC, I know I'm throwing this a little out there right now, but like how much heat would catch on to Sirianni, you think?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, there's a couple things about this game from the first game that I'm also looking forward to. First of all, we're not in Sao Paulo.
Yeah, that's true too, man. That field was awful, man. Absolutely awful.
The field was awful, and the players were not. They didn't want to be there.
Right.
You know.
No,
and
sure.
As they're getting injured, we're getting healthy.
I know. Dude, the injury bug bites everybody. Detroit's gonna have to be impacted a little bit. Some other teams are not fully healthy coming in, missing players.
Detroit has been a perfect example of next man up mentality.
Yeah, they definitely pushed through. I mean, that first half that they have with the Vikings was kind of interesting, but then in the second half,
they had Sam Darnold seeing ghosts again.
Yeah, that's that's a big question with Minnesota, and that's why they are where they are now because of their play of Sam Darnold. But I'm intrigued by that matchup too, with them in playing on Monday night against the Rams. That should be a good matchup, especially with the controversy that ended their first game the first time. Should be an interesting game.
On Monday night.
That's all right. I'll take the Saturday game. I'll take the Sunday game. I like the Sunday. Take the 4:30 game. Get some time to rest and get ready.
Give me a 7:30 game. Give me something.
I always feel like in January we played the Packers on like a 4:30 game. It's just like something we usually do.
Something about it just sticks.
I know. Brings back memories of the 4th and 26 and stuff like that.
Yeah. But one of our big things last week was getting Goddard back.
Oh, I know for sure. They definitely got him in rhythm. They used him like early and then they pulled him out later just to conserve him and use him for the playoffs in this situation. But I mean, like I was saying, like to a couple guys at work. I mean, Jalen just throws to his receivers and he throws to Dallas Goedert. Like Jahan Dotson can have a good game like he did last week, and he's not going to get any more of that.
But you know who his quarterback was? The real QB too.
Oh, really?
A Mormon missile, Tanner McKee.
Yeah, you like that Tanner McKee?
Yeah, I told Glenn we send him Pickett back, and I want a refund. The boy can't play. He was right. Can't play. He's terrible.
He did good against the Cowboys. I thought so.
He also forgot to release the ball.
I mean, yeah, well, that was ugly. I mean, I when I saw that, I'm like, dude, I was like, what the fuck was that? Honestly, I didn't know what to think when I saw that.
That was right up there in Buffalo territory there.
That was really bad. Like, it was just like, it was a late reaction. That was like a glitch. It was almost like some Madden shit from what I saw. But, I mean, dude, he threw those 2 bombs. He got comfortable. It looked like he was good. I would take a flyer on him next year as the backup, but I'm just saying that if we didn't have Tanner McKee. But Tanner McKee, like, I was really impressed with what I saw. But, like, I think last week, what we saw against the Giants, like, we saw who has the best arm in that quarterback room, and that's Tanner McKee. Tanner McKee definitely has the best arm in that room in terms of, like, arm strength, even getting rid of the release. I saw almost like some Tom Brady quick motion type throws here, and I was impressed. I'm not saying it's Tom Brady, obviously, but, 6th-round pick, too. You never know. But, all right, so I want to wrap things up, and because, I'll call it how I see it here. We ragged a couple players around here, but I want to give kudos to one player that has been playing a lot better, and I want to say I think we have to give some kudos to Bryce Young. So I just want to know, do you guys think that Bryce Young can play and is worthy of being a franchise quarterback, maybe starting next year? I'll start with you, G.
Absolutely not. Listen, if you play the position, I've said many times before, you will have a good game. You may have a few good games. You keep putting them out there, average the best. And I'm saying no. I still don't think he can play. He can put some games together. I'm with you. You play the position, you'll have a good game. You'll make a good throw. But no, overall, play him every week, you'll see.
Time will tell, huh? Colors will show. Maybe
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I mean, like, I felt like down the stretch he played some really good ball. That's why I want to give him credit. I'm rooting for the guy. That's why I got ragged, but
the clock will start all over next year, and we'll see where we stand. Absolutely.
What do you think, Jay?
I have 2 names. Well, I have 3 names to mention right now. Dave Canales.
Okay.
Coach. 2 quarterbacks he coached in the past and revived their careers. 1, Geno Smith. 2, Baker Mayfield. I think the benching might have helped them. The benching might have helped them going into next year with a little bit of confidence. Can he see over the lines? No, can't. I can't either. But guess what? If I have Bryce Young's arms, I'd be okay. I might be okay somewhere. Are you going to get him a number 1 receiver whose name is not Adam Thielen, or a guy who's not eating grilled raccoon in the locker room? Maybe it'll work. I would say I think it's not a complete no. It's a TBD.
Okay. To be determined. Okay, that's fair enough.
Yes, because I don't, he's out here throwing those little touchdowns like he's Lamar Jackson and Steph Curry.
The confidence is there. You know what I mean? Like, he's playing confident. I think before, like, he didn't have the confidence.
You went to a confident college, though. You're in Alabama.
Yeah, but I mean, like, when you're running for your life and getting sacked and have no one to throw the ball to, it's not.
He must have got them good gifts. He must have got them good. The offensive line must have got real good Christmas gifts.
I mean,
I'm out. He can't play. It's just a matter of time. Just time. Time will tell. To be determined. I'm with you there. But I'm willing to go out on a limb and say, nah, he'll never be a productive He'll never be a quarterback that's on a team playing productive enough for them to go to the playoffs. No, I don't see it.
Okay.
I think if you improve the weapons, you get him somebody maybe like a T. Higgins-esque. Maybe. TBD. I'm willing to say TBD.
Right.
Fair enough.
We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at a TBD. But, guys, exactly. I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No, you're good.
All right. But, guys, I appreciate you guys coming on. I had a lot of fun. I'm glad we were able to start the new year like this, and we're going to definitely take over things in 2025.
Can't wait.
But appreciate you, Joffey, man.
No, absolutely. I appreciate you guys. Much love, and good night. And we're back. And look who we have in the house. I got my man, Kenny Blake. What's going on, Kenny? How you doing, my man?
Doing okay. I'm excited now with the NFL playoffs. It's right around the corner. Can't wait for the season to start off with the NFL playoffs coming up.
No, for sure. It's an exciting time for sure. Definitely, it's definitely for people in your expertise world too. You know, we're gonna drop some picks for y'all. Kenny's gonna give y'all the picks that y'all need to be looking out for. And because my man Kenny's here for that sole reason, I'm gonna let him take the floor. So Kenny, go ahead. Tell the world what you got.
So this wildcard playoffs, it's good. Got some good teams, and I'm kind of predicting two upsets that could happen. The first upset, you have Denver that will be coming into Buffalo. Buffalo play at home. I'm looking forward to see what the Broncos can do on defense against the Buffalo Bills offense. Can he stop Josh Allen in the running game with Josh Allen? And also, like, you got some offense. You got some offensive weapons with Josh Allen, with
James Cook. James Cook.
James Cook, Coleman, and also you got the wide receiver that they just added.
Shakir. They got Shakir. They got Amari Cooper. They got a group of weapons there in Buffalo. But let me get this straight, Kenny. You really think that Denver's gonna beat Buffalo, or do you think they're gonna cover?
I think it's gonna be a close game. Could go either way. Depends on how Buffalo could control the tempo. But I think the Denver Broncos are gonna come in and win.
Wow,
on the money line.
Okay, that's a big upset there, Kenny. That's swinging some big balls on that one, but okay, I can dig it. What else did you got?
My second game is going to be on Monday night. You got the Vikings going into LA on the Rams.
Okay.
I want to see what the Rams defense can control the high offense on the Vikings side on the offense with the running game,
right?
And also with Jefferson. Like they can't stop Jefferson, but I want to see what they can do on the defense on the Rams. Okay. It's going to be a close game. I'm picking the Rams on the money line.
Okay, so you think the Rams are going to just take care of the Minnesota Vikings and everything that they had going on this season?
Yes, sir.
And I mean, there's a lot of controversy in the first game too, especially with that face mask call that didn't get called on Sam Darnold, and the Rams kind of pulled away a win against the Vikings earlier. So I definitely think there's gonna be a lot at stake for this game. So that's gonna be an interesting game too. I'll definitely be watching Monday night. But keep going, Kenny. Keep going.
Okay, my last pick that I would like to see is gonna be a close one, and I like the Chargers and Houston. I like both teams with John Harbaugh. They kind of turning over the team around with the Chargers. Sure. I really like the Chargers. How they doing this season? They started off the season. I think they was for the losing record, but they turned it around on this upcoming season. And I never thought they would be in the playoffs today, but I like the Chargers coming in.
No, for sure. Jim Harbaugh definitely did a good job with the Chargers. I think the Chargers, maybe in a couple of years, they could even challenge the Chiefs if they keep continuing with this type of core nucleus that they have going on right now. That's another interesting pick. You got some interesting picks here, Kenny.
Yeah, I like Houston too on offense, but he don't really have my offense because the wide receiver weapons is kind of banged up right now this season.
No, for sure.
Going into this playoff season.
No, for sure. Definitely losing Tank Dell. Nico Collins has been out of the lineup, and C.J. Stroud just hasn't really been himself this year. So I don't know. Houston kind of won like the worst division in football, and made it into the playoffs because of it. But when we saw them play against the better teams, even in the prime time light, they just did not execute. They didn't show up. Even that Ravens game on Christmas, that was a really bad look. And I think I kind of just showcase the Houston Texans season in a nutshell, just in that one game. So we'll see. But some interesting picks, Ken. I'm really interested to see, especially with the Denver and the Bills game. I would think if Denver was to pull such an upset like that with Sean Payton, I think Sean McDermott would be out the door for the Bills. I think so. But there's just too much high expectations for that team, especially when they beat the Chiefs earlier this year. So that's definitely an interesting pick. I'm definitely going to tuned in and watch on that. I believe they play on Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Sunday at 1, yes. And I will be home watching it. Well, I'll be at work, but I get off at 3. So I'll probably watch the second half and see what happens.
That's good, because also, too, since you get home at 3, gets you enough time to catch the 4:30 game, which is my Eagles. So you'll definitely tune in for that one.
Yeah, I want to see what Hurts do on his return.
That's the big question mark. I would say that's the big question mark for the game. I mean, his return is huge.
Yes, sir.
So we'll see how things go. But Kenny, I appreciate you coming through and dropping your picks. We'll definitely keep track and see how things go for next week and moving forward in this playoffs.
Yes, sir.
All right, Kenny. Thank you again for hopping on. I appreciate it,
man. Thank you.
So we are back, and it's been a little while since I've done a solo take. So yes, here I am, and I am here to talk college football because we are down to our final 4 teams. It's been a fun season. I haven't talked too much about it on the show, but since we are where we are now, I felt it was only fitting since there is a game tonight involving Notre Dame and Penn State, and then we have Ohio State and Texas playing tomorrow night. So I thought it was right that I talk about this because it needs to be talked about. So, where do we start? Okay, so Ohio State. We'll start with tomorrow's game first. Ohio State clearly looks like they are in the driver's seat of the remaining 4 teams. They wiped the floor with the number 1 team in the country, Oregon, which surprised a lot of people since the first matchup, it was very down to the wire, and Oregon was able to pull off a small, slim victory against Ohio State, which was big because this is Oregon's first year in the Big Ten as they became the Big Ten champions. So that was a big, big win for Ohio State and Ryan Day, who had laid a big egg against Michigan, but was able to come big against Tennessee. And now, I would definitely say they're in the driver's seat. Will Howard has played really good football. Jeremiah Smith, who is not, I don't think, even 18 years old yet, but is a prospect to be reckoned with for years to come. He could probably go out in the draft and be the number 1 pick right now, which is pretty remarkable to say, but that's just what it is. Ohio State looks elite. Their prospects are coming big. They made Dylan Gabriel and the Oregon Ducks look small. Dan Henning had no answer for anything, and they shut down everything they needed to. And I have to give kudos to an old coach of the Philadelphia Eagles that goes by the name of Chip Kelly, as he is the offensive coordinator for Ohio State, and he seemed to have the perfect game plan to run all over his former team, the Oregon Ducks, which they did. So, coming in against Texas, who barely pulled off a slim victory as they were up in the first half and let Arizona State come back in that game. But they are an underdog, which is understandably so against Ohio State. They are a 10-point underdog. But Steve Sarkisian does have a good team. He has a good quarterback, he has a good running back, and a strong defense that can put the clamp down when they need to, but has had difficulties the last couple weeks against better opponents doing so. But with these slim margins and victories, Texas is where they are, and Sarkisian and Ryan Day will face off for a chance to go to the national championship, and which will also include a possibility for them to either win their first national championship. Out of the 4 coaches remaining, none of them have won a national championship. So we will see a new team and a new coach win a national championship for the first time. So yes, I definitely would give a big ode to Ohio State, especially, like I said, with the way their season ended and disappointment and not being able to play in the Big Ten championship game against Oregon. But they are back on a vengeance tour, and they are really mopping up the floor. So Texas is going to have to play their best game. It's going to be a big game for Quinn Ewers, yes, because he is a projected first-round quarterback. So we will see. They do have enough firepower on offense. They came against Arizona State in the first half and played really big, and then it's kind of played a little too conservative to the point where Arizona State was able to come back in that game, and it led to the outcome that we saw with Texas winning. So with all that considered, it's definitely going to be a big matchup. I'm eager to watch to see what was going to happen. I definitely think Ohio State has some more big plays under their sleeve with Chip Kelly, so we're going to see how Chip Kelly uses Will Howard and Jeremiah Smith and their receivers moving forward. It's going to be an interesting game. Do I think that Texas will lose by 10 points? I do not. I think it's going to be a closer game, down to the wire, but we'll see. Maybe Steve Sarkisian might be able to pull something off here. Maybe he might have some tricks up his own sleeve to combat against Ohio State and what they have ready for them. It's going to be an interesting game. That's Friday night. But for tonight, this is actually my most intriguing matchup. And something I did notice, too, that I did iterate, that both coaches will be in an opportunity to win their first national championship. Both of these coaches are both in the same boat. And these coaches that I'm talking about is Marcus Freeman and James Franklin. They're both on the same boat where they have not gotten the chance to put their resume amongst the best of coaches. Yes, they are there. They're good coaches, maybe top 10 coaches in all college football. But now this is the chance where they've been waiting for, where whoever wins this is going to go to the national championship. And mind you, too, this is another historic moment, too, as this will both include 2 African-American coaches that will make it to the national championship, which is huge. There is diversity coming, and yes, minus what's going on in the NFL right now, firing African-American coaches. College football is doing it big with these 2 guys, and especially since they've been in hot waters with their fan bases not winning big games or not even being able to be in a position to go to a national championship. It's going to be very interesting to see. But coming into this game, both teams are very similar, all right? So both play good defense. We saw Penn State shut down Alshon Jeffrey. Maybe not shut down, but he definitely put a containment on him, even though he had 100 yards off of 30 carries. Penn State definitely did much better than a lot of these other teams have done all year. So you have to give Penn State credit on that. Penn State is led by Drew Allar, who's been playing a lot better football. I was kind of questionable about his skill set coming in and his decision-making, but I would say the last 2 games against bigger competition, he's played very good football, and I have to give him credit for that. Penn State's running game is definitely no slouch, as they have Allen and Singleton, two good backs that I could see both going pro, and creating some problems for Notre Dame on defense as they move the chains and stuff. And don't forget Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren is a prospect that has been bailing out Drew Eller all year, and he will be a first-round pick. He's a player, and don't be surprised if he even gets some direct snaps and make some things happen with that. That is Penn State as a nutshell on offense. Now, switching over to Notre Dame, we are all familiar with Miles Leonard and his dual threat capabilities. I will say this, though. He has been playing much better football, not turning the ball over, and leading Notre Dame to good drives. We all know about Jeremiah Love and everything he's been able to do. Faison's also a great prospect, too, that I see getting drafted. Notre Dame has weapons, and up front they are elite. They maul people, and that helps Jeremiah Love get some of these break route runs that he's been getting. So it's going to be interesting to see how Notre Dame matches up with them. I actually think this is going to be a real close game. I kind of feel like Penn State's going to win. I could be wrong, but we're going to see how things shape out. Who knows? We could be looking at a Big Ten national championship game. Who would have thought something like that? But mind you, all that's involved. Things I did want to point out that are the way they are. We had Oregon lose. We had Georgia lose, given Carson Beck did not play, but also given Carson Beck wasn't good all year. So, if that was the national championship, hypothetically speaking, without the college football playoff, we're looking at two teams that got beat by 35 points combined. And that would have been a national championship without the college football playoff. So, that already in itself is a success. All right. I think the college football playoff does need to be reformatted a little bit. I think conferences in a couple years will actually be a thing of the past, even with all the movement that has gone on in the last couple years. But I think the main goal is for college football and the committee and everything involved here is to garnish the most money. So if a certain conference isn't comparing to this other conference, I feel the numbers won't match up correctly, and you'll have to reseed things and maybe even add more teams into this college football formula. So it's going to be interesting to watch. It will be. But like I said, if we were not to have a college football playoff and we were to look at the two teams that were 1 and 2, and if they were to play each other in a national championship, it doesn't really look that good now, given that we have seen the outcomes that we have. Like I said, though, Georgia without Carson Beck, probably a different team, but also is probably not the second best team in the country, and that's why they got exposed. And who knows? Even if they were to play Notre Dame with Carson Beck, who knows? I don't think they might have even beat Notre Dame. Just a hypothetical. But in the long, big cloud of things here, the SEC is not what it used to be. All right, so Nick Saban's not around. We saw Alabama take a step back, and there's a lot of grumblings about Alabama not making the college football playoff. But with Alabama losing to Michigan in their bowl game, when Michigan was a 16.5-point underdog, that's inexcusable. And DeBar, I'm sure, is still hearing it right now by the Alabama fans about that. So that's the one take. We're also looking at Georgia. They're on the down. Tennessee got mauled by Ohio State. So we're looking at that and all these things involved. And I just don't think the SEC is what it used to be. Yes, we saw Texas involved in this, but Texas barely beat Arizona State when they were a 10.5-point favorite. And it came down to the wire in that game, too. So the SEC is clearly not what it used to be. And where we are now, I definitely think we're going to start seeing other teams come out and really show that they are more of a physical presence than the SEC. If Texas is unable to make the national championship game, this will be the first time since 2004 and 2005 and back-to-back seasons that there isn't an SEC team in the national championship, which would be mind-blowing, honestly, because last year we had Michigan and Washington, and then if this was to work out this way where Texas doesn't make the national championship game, it'll be another scenario where that happens. And with all the money that the SEC brings into football, and sometimes we also have to take in consideration that as good as they are as a conference, sometimes when they're outside of their own bubble and they get put into situations where they're playing against other teams, they don't look as good. We can look at all the bowl games involved here. We saw Oklahoma lost to the Navy Shipmen. We have Mississippi State still playing Duke. That's coming up. There's a bunch of games still going on. South Carolina, they lost to the Illinois of the Alumni. There's things that happened during this bowl season that shows that the SEC is just not where it used to be. And it's just something to look out for moving forward. However, I'm very interested to see what's going to happen in these next 2 days. And I definitely think college football is going in the right direction with this. And I also think college football, including the transfer portal and letting other players go to teams that give themselves the best opportunity, is proving dividends. I think college football is in good shape. I do think some things will need to be tweaked and altered. But right now, it's going on the up. And I definitely think this college football playoff has been very entertaining. So I'm very interested to see what's going to happen in the national championship game and what two teams are going to be playing. So with all that considered, I will wrap all this up and just conclude that college football is in a good place. And I'm really enjoying watching good football. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens tonight and tomorrow night. So with all that involved, I do think that we are going to see Ohio State play the Nittany Lions in the national championship game. I could be wrong. That's just my hunch. But we will see. So we'll see if Ryan Day and his fake beard can finally pull all this off and have the last laugh. But mind you, with all that, I wish y'all a good night, and thank y'all for listening.